the Intention Academy. I am so excited to bring to you this training today. Last week I was unable to get on the call. I started getting sick. And so today we are going over emotions and how our emotions are actually for us. And what I really want to dive into is the difference between emotions and feelings and what that actually means. So, if you are with us, if you are new here with me, please let me know that this is the first time that you are with us. I want to welcome you. I run the Intention Academy here with a group of 8 other amazing people who I could not do this without. That is absolutely sure. And if you have been following me for quite some time, please let me know that you are here. I am delighted that you spend Tuesdays with me where we can dive deep and get into understanding why we do the things that we do and why this is keeping us from all of the things that we're trying to accomplish in our life. And the one thing that I do know is that if you are here, you are running a business, you are trying to get to your next level, you are a passion-led individual, and you keep running into the same walls trying to get to this next level of success that you have. And I want to explain to you today, one, why that is, and why your emotions matter in all of that. Why your emotions matter and all of that. Welcome, welcome. So glad you are here. So many people already hopping on. So grateful that you are here with us today. Again, we're going over emotions. So I've got like 2 pages of notes. We'll see how far we get through on those today. But I want to start out by asking you this. If you had a tool in your toolbox that allowed you to know the next step to take, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter what you're trying to figure out, would you want that tool? Right? Like, we all want that tool. And the biggest thing that we get inside of the Intention Academy are business owners, entrepreneurs that are stuck, like they don't know the next thing. They've had a level of success and then they plateau or they go back down or their business is up and down like this. And I want to explain to you why that is. So emotions and our feelings, they are the way that so when you emote, you are expressing your feeling. And the way that we express our feelings has so much less to do than what we decide to do in the moment and so much more to do with our programming. So many people, they come in this place of being stuck and in this place of I don't know. And what we decide to do at any given moment are basically on 3 different things. Our programming, our life experiences, which create our programming, and our what's in our body, what is stored in our body. So many people, I'm sure you've heard the example that, whenever somebody comes in, you have a full cup of tea and you get spilled, what comes out of the cup, tea comes out of the cup, because whatever's in the cup is going to come out. And it is such a great example in explaining how we hold and store our emotions. So today I'm going to first start out, because you can't really understand any of this unless you understand the biochemistry of even how you produce a feeling. Once we go into how we produce a feeling, then I'll talk to you about how we actually store it, how we process emotions, what happens, why there is this high emotion, low IQ that goes on that we see rampant around the world, and what we need to do about it. So with that being said, and we go over this a lot, how we get a feeling is we get a thought. The thought is the very first thing. The thought then produces a chemical or a hormone. And that chemical or hormone produces a feeling. Okay? So we've got thought, chemical or hormone, produces a feeling. We then get the feeling, and depending on how we have stored these feelings inside of our unconscious mind and the work that we have done, we're going to do a couple of different things. And depending on what we do, it's going to produce another thought, which produces another chemical, which produces another feeling. Then we react to the feeling, we emote that feeling, we have another thought. So we are doing this all day long, and we are the ones deciding. So I have a lot of people that come in and they say, well, I've got a chemical imbalance or I have a hormonal imbalance. You're right, you do. You're creating it. You're creating it. And the fact that we do not know how to use, so whenever I was telling you that this tool that you can have to know this next thing, this tool is you. You are the tool. And we were all given a certain set of tools. We have our lungs even are a tool. Our eyes are a tool. Our brain is a tool. Everything that we have is a tool for us to lead out this mission that we were put here on this earth to do. We had 70 people register for this event, and most of it is because they're wanting to get, to get that out of them or to get that out on a bigger level, one or the other. And this is what we do. The way I was able to quantum leap my business from not being able to, sell anything to people coming to me was coming back to this wisdom and being able to hold it. So the last thing that I told you was what is inside your body. Because what is inside your body is going to determine what it is that you're going to be able to hold. Whether that's, a lot of you are not able to hold success, but it's not just that. It's joy. It's connection. It's love. It's happiness. It's freedom. If you are so filled up on the inside, knowing that our emotions are stored and stuck inside of our body, we don't have the space for these other things. Because the unconscious mind's first and foremost thing that it is always doing for you is to keep you safe. It will always be tending to that. It is not going to go and tend and support you to happiness unless you free up the space here for it to be able to do something different. Do you hear what I'm telling you? This part is our job. This is creating the good ground. When we say building the foundation, I don't care if it's a business or a relationship, it still starts with this foundation. Because this is what we bring into every other scenario in our life. So if we have a thought that produces a hormone and the hormone produces a feeling, and the feeling, we either know how to hold that or we don't know how to hold that. What does that mean, holding it? Well, let's talk about that. So you can look at, this is kind of where emotional baggage comes from. So I talk about this a lot as well. Emotional baggage comes from this theory right here, that we store our emotions in these bags and in the unconscious mind. So I'm not really, okay. So we've got a bag here. And this bag is filled up with all of our life events that made us angry. Okay? So you've got this gestalt of anger that's filling up. So let's say, just so that you can kind of understand how this is happening on a long-term scale of your life, and then we'll get to some events so you can see how we react emotionally in the moment and the reason why. So let's say you are at the candy store. You're 2 years old. You want a piece of candy. Mom wants to, or you want a piece of candy. Mom says no. It makes you angry. And it creates an imprint in the unconscious mind of what we do whenever we're angry. It could have been in even younger age than this. But let's just say 2. And then you get this in there, that event in there. And you have another event that makes you angry, later on in life. That puts in more. And as we fill up, you're just getting all of these imprints. Anytime that you have something happen in your life that reminds you of feeling like the 2-year-old that when you were angry and you didn't get the candy, new imprint. And the bag starts to fill. Is this making sense for everybody so far? So this is going to continue to fill. Most of you had full gestalts definitely by the time that you were 18. If you had trauma in your life or traumatizing events, even more, even faster. So you have another event. You might have, like, so this was mom and dad comes in doing something, or he leaves, or the million things that he has going on with him. You've got maybe exes. That was a huge one. We've got any trauma that may have happened in our life, different events that have happened in our life. And every single one of these, they're creating a link. All of these imprints into the unconscious mind are creating a link, and they're filling up this gestalt. Now, the thing is, we have a gestalt for, we have one for sadness. We have one for fear. We have one for guilt, and a whole slew of other emotions. We're going to talk about these main 4 top emotions today. And so what do you think happens? When we fill these up, they're all filled. What do you think happens? It's awful. Ultimately, what's going to happen is one of 2 things. You're going to revert back to the age you were, to the 2-year-old, and this is where high emotion, low IQ comes from. Because our IQ does not matter when we shut that part of our brain down so that we can go into fight or flight and fix this. And this is where most of you are running your business from whenever I was telling you why this is so important. If you want to hold some of these emotions that are more freeing and filling, then you're going to have to clear out some of this. Because your unconscious mind is always going to be trying to figure out how to do this. And so how does it do it? It releases the emotion. It may scream and yell and rant and rave, right? We can numb it, push it down, shove it down, right? And the other thing that we can do, and oftentimes do, and I can go into a whole nother training about that, what it's actually doing to your body is sick. You're going to get sick. So we have the same thing for sadness. Mom makes us sad, right? Dad makes us sad. It then goes here. Exes have made us sad. Our trauma's made us sad. We've been fearful, right? And what we end up having here, what you see, is a grid. It's basically this matrix of which we view our own life. And inside all of these is where our coding happens. It happens through the influences and the things that happen in our life and the emotions that we experience and our ability to be able to regulate here. Most of us are running our relationships, running our businesses, running our families, running everything, parenting up here. We're up here, and what happens when these fill up, you experience the top emotion. So anger spills out into rage. Sadness spills out into depression. Fear spills out into an anxiety attack. Guilt comes out into a shame spiral. And most of the time, we're living at the top of our gestalts and then reinforcing the shame that we feel over here. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, as y'all are coming in. We are never going to be able to get anywhere living at the top of our gestalts. So when we're at the top of our gestalts, now you can imagine the thoughts that come out. We have a reaction that then creates a thought. We just blow a deal or aren't ready or we don't show up in our business, whatever it is, how it's freaking showing up. When something happens, we get this trigger. We respond like our IQ gets shut off, so we don't have access to ourself to be able to decide what is the next possible thing to do. We're over here telling ourselves that we suffer with depression and anxiety, when really it's just the way that the brain works and we don't know how to work our brain or how to process our emotions. So we get some gumption 96% of every single thing that you do comes from the unconscious mind. Meaning that all of your education that you do, all of the trainings that you do, all of the planning that you do, and the goal setting you do, that's 4% of your results. Because, we're going to revert back to our programming that was based off of our own life experiences. Most people that are in here are breaking out of their life experiences and their programming. They didn't grow up wealthy, and yet they are amassing wealth. They're breaking generational curses because everybody before them has been traumatized in some way, and they are the chain breakers in their family. Because we know that trauma is stored in the body, we know that this is generationally affected. We know that we were in our mother was in our grandmother. And their traumatic events and the way that they stored their trauma in their body affected their very cells. This loop that you're in with the thought, the chemical, and the emotion that we have, the feeling that we have, and what we do with that is what is then recreating our life. It's recreating. If y'all have any questions over this, let me know. But how is this showing up? We've got all of this programming in here. We know that here is where the belief systems are. So this is what tells us, I'm not good enough. I can only make so much money, whatever your money beliefs are. Unworthy. Unlovable. And it boxes these things in. Now, when you take this and understand what the brain is doing, this is basically an example of a longer version of that reticular activating system that we were talking about 2 weeks ago. And we bring it up a lot. Because again, this is how we process information. When we process information, we think everything you're taking on right now, we think that we're taking it on, it's going to our thinking brain, we're thinking about like, oh yeah, that's good, or I don't really agree with that, or I don't know about that, or whatever we're doing, that we're processing it, and then we're filing it away to the unconscious mind to think about later, but that's not what's happening. What happens is we take it on with our eyes. It bypasses the thinking brain, the critical factor, any way that we can make sense of any of it. And then it goes straight to the unconscious mind and gets filtered through these. And then we delete, generalize, and distort that picture to match whatever we believe here. Whatever we believe we can hold, whatever we believe we can have, whatever we believe is ours. And then we go and create relationships out of that. We build our businesses from this place. It doesn't work. You can get far. I got far, but my adrenals ran out. When we're talking about being up here, while we're on the subject as well, there are so many tools. There are so many tools that are out there, from somatic therapy to hypnotherapy to tapping, so many. Energy work, meditation, and it's trying to keep you from here. So you're basically doing things to lower this. But the problem is, if we're not dealing with all of this, it's going to fill right back up. So you can expect yourself to be in maintenance 80% of the time, trying to keep this down when you've got all this back here that validates why you should feel that way. And that's what brings us to our emotions being for us. And they are for us. When you're experiencing your emotions down here and you learn how to communicate your emotions. So you might be, let's say you're experiencing guilt and you're feeling guilt. Now you're experiencing it down here. So it's not up here and already turned in experiencing the top emotion of shame, which is going to then lead you over here to being the first time that you ever experienced shame. Fear and shame, unless you've had traumatic events at a younger age, we really don't experience those until older, 6, 7, 8. If you've experienced traumatic events, you very well could have experienced them before. But either way, we're going to revert back to the age we were of the first imprint of that emotion. The first imprint of that emotion. So what we want to, what we want to teach you how to do is to be able to communicate with that emotion. So if you have guilt, you're experiencing guilt, and we don't shove it down. It's not at the top of the emotion, so it doesn't go into a shame spiral. We can communicate with it. And it may tell you, hey, you were really harsh to your daughter this morning. Maybe you want to go and apologize. And it serves me. It's a reminder for me to stop. Most of us, our emotions, when we say our emotions are the indicator, you can liken it to a fire alarm. When you have a fire alarm goes off, the feeling comes in, and then the emotion that we have, we do something with that. But when the fire alarm goes off, we don't go to the fire alarm and try and shut the fire alarm off. We don't. We go and find the fire, and we put the fire out. So what I want to teach you how to do and support you in being able to do is to be able to communicate with your emotion so that you can get to the wisdom of it. To get to the wisdom of it, because there's two places in this whole cycle that we have some charge over. When we have the feeling, we can decide to do something different, right? We're going to normally go with our program, and that's why I'm saying there's not a lot of choice in it, but you do have some. You can start to do something different today, which is, asking yourself to feel the emotion, see why it's coming up, or react to the emotion immediately. Depending on what you do in that scenario is going to depend on the next thought you get, which is the next chemical that you get. So you can stay in that drowning cycle like for however long you want to. Even if you go and get medication and do those, it's basically mimicking the same thing, but you still have all of this. And guys, if you're leading a passion-led business, you're doing something like this, this is where your wisdom is. When you need to know what the next step is to do, this is it. It's in here. All locked up, tight in a way and safe. That's not what we were drawn here to do at all. But to move through these, because that life experience that we said that creates your program. Through wisdom, it creates your future. Through healing, it creates your future. Because really, you have one of two options. You're going to go and create your business, start a new relationship, go on the next thing that moves you to the next level. You're going to find problems. You're going to react to those problems, and you're going to go to the next course and figure out how to fix that problem, or to fix this problem, or to fix that problem, or to fix this problem. Or you can come and remove everything that you are not, and fully show up as your authentic self and lead from a place of that. We can't do that when we have this stuck in our body. It's going to stop us every time. And you can work on these different belief systems, one or the other, but if you don't heal the things that gave it to you, it's coming right back. It's coming right back. Because what's going to happen is if we don't, when we clear out this, when we have room here, there's not so much this, we have space for joy. We have space for success, and we can hold it. But we'll just get success and then ruin it up here. Ruin it with our depression again. Because things are going to be hard. Our job is to hold duality, to be able to hold both good and bad. That part is never going away. What changes is our ability to hold it. Right now, we have the capacity to only hold bad, or whatever level of success that you are at. Make space. Make room. Come in. Heal. Learn your lessons. Change your own life experience. You have all of the different tools. You have everything that you need inside of you. And the fact that we get to work with people, we know Every single time that we get on a call with someone, or we know that there's a life on the line, but with you, lives are on the line. We know that you are the one who is taking your own wisdom, your own knowledge, what you have learned throughout your life, and going out and sharing it with the world. And there are people waiting for you to stand up, to share your wisdom, to share your stories, and it all comes from this place of healing. So I am so glad the team has put a link to book a call if you are ready to take this. We are going to be opening the doors next week um, to doing this work right here, dropping this scaffolding, and then we add in your gifts and talents from God so that you know exactly how to use them. Our job is to keep this area clean, create the good ground so our gifts and talents can show up and serve us. Again, my name is Melissa Gill. I am so honored that I get to come here every single Tuesday and share my own life experience, what I have. But everything changed when I did this. This is where I learned my lessons. This is where. And whenever I need to do something, I know that I can go to myself and find that wisdom and take the intuitive action that I need to take, and you can too. I'm here every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. That is Tuesdays at 2. So that is 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 Pacific. So glad you are here, and we will see you next week.